Hello, hello! Welcome back to the last day of the group stage of the ESL UT Dual Spring League 2017. Today we will have, let me have a look at my little tweet. 3 games, all his games of Aiko, the Frenchman. He's gonna play against Zulago at 1700 CEST, and then against Repeat at 1750, and then against Kinex at 1840. So we will have a maximum of 50 minutes per match planned. It's highly unlikely that we will take advantage of that possibility, but nevertheless we have the small, the exact timing basically of 5 maps. In case there's going to be a delay, or in case Eiko actually takes the full 50 minutes on his first 2 games, we of course will try to give him a little break of like 5 minutes in between the games, but shouldn't be more. He specifically asked for this day to play his games, so it was his choice to actually play the whole evening. Could certainly be worse for him. I think it's a right amount of time to play for like maybe 2.5 hours, and then do something else or have a break after that. So I just hope he is not overplayed. He is well prepared. He's fit. Let me just do some little self-promotion in Discord and let all the important channels know that the stream of the ESL Playday is on. In case you have any feedback about the sound quality, my PC had yet again another update. It's called Creators Update by Windows 10. I tried my best to actually achieve a nice sound and picture quality right here, but you never know. That's, again, if there's anything, please let me know. I'm going to hop into UT, 1 round of deathmatch, or maybe against bots, to just see if the stream quality is working out nicely, if my OBS is picking up the game. It often has awesome problems that whenever I start a game, then there's a black screen, or it's just a title window, or some other crap going on. So I really want to make sure that the games will be flawless. I always do that in front of the games, so also this time I'm gonna do it. And for some reason, game sounds very low for me. No bots, okay. Play. And I'm gonna check out the stream quality on the other stream, on the other PC. So I just have to switch scenes right now. Let's try this.
Three, 2, 1.
And I think I'm in game. I'm just checking out the quality. Looks all nice and steady. Gonna go full screen on that one. Okay. Okay, let's see how the minigun turns out. And it all looks pretty accurate to me. Okay, cool. Nice. In case you have any questions about the game sounds, then maybe it's too high, maybe it's too low volume, maybe my speech recognition is not working properly. Anything could happen. Always let me know, and I'll try to fix it in between the games or even before. So what I'm gonna do right now is basically I will talk to Zagabus in case he wants to join us here, and I will join the ESL Discord. Okay. I'm still here. I'm still alive. Just letting Psychobus know that in case he wants to join, then he's free to do that. So we might have a very valuable co-host for tonight. What else could I do? What else could I show you guys before the game start? Actually, I'm going to go into the... Where is it? Into the groups. So I have to switch my scene. Alright, that looks about good enough. Whole monitor. Here we go. And now you should see the tables. So what can we say about the tables? We can basically say that Mouse Dylan and Mouse Snatch made it from Group A. They will play the playoffs. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for Reef and Sharken. In Group B, anything is possible. However, I'm pretty sure that Kinnick's already made it. Doesn't even matter who he's like if he's going to lose to Aiko, then he would be 2-1. Sulako, even if he would win versus Aiko, he also would be 2-1, but he lost against Kinnick's. And Aiko, if he wins all his 3 games, obviously he's going through, and Kinnick's. If Aiko wins against anyone but Kinnick's, Kinnick's will also advance. If he wins against anyone but Sulako, also Aiko and Kinnick's will advance. But if Aiko loses against Kinnick's and Sulako, or basically if Aiko loses 2 games, then he will be out actually. So very interesting how how Group B will be decided today. I'm going to switch the scenes again to get you into UT. Open it. Here we go. Just checking on my second monitor if the transition actually worked. And it seems so. Nice. Just going to play another single player game here to see
3,
whether my OBS
2, 1.
was able to handle the switch. Okay, let's see if everything's smooth. This is how it should look like. I'm gonna have a look at my second screen. And it looks smooth as hell. Very nice, cool. Going to hubs, going to servers. And basically waiting for the players to get their shit going. Alright, I'm gonna check that out on Discord. I will let you guys know about any updates. Okay, just checking the chats on the platforms. Everyone who just tuned in, this is the final group stage playday of the ESL Unreal Tournament Dual Spring League. And today we decide, or it will be decided, who of those 3 players of Sulako, Aiko, as well as Kinnick's will advance to the playoffs. I can see that Zekabus already joined the casters channel, the voice channel.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome.
Hopefully I'm loud enough for you.
Actually, let me check that out.
Quick question. Is Repeat still playing today? Or has he kind of forfeited his game?
That's a very interesting question. Well, officially he's scheduled, but let me actually ask him here in Discord.
I have a sneaky feeling that he might not be here, knowing that he cannot progress.
Yeah, actually, we or like any cup in the future, we should try to avoid these kind of situations, in my opinion.
We probably could have avoided it if it was on the same day, but because it was a different day that he had to play Heiko, that's why, probably more than anything else. I think if it was...
Could be. I actually have to look into the Swiss format, which is very present in all the Counter-Strike competitions right now and tournaments right now, and they do a different system. And depending on like who you lose and who you win, you have different opponents, kind of thing. That might be viable for a cup like this to keep players engaged despite having lost 1 or 2 matches.
Yeah, true.
Because also, what was it? Was it actually? I think it was someone from Group A. I think Sharken. Yeah, I think Sharken was already out of the or being left without any chance of advancing to the playoffs, and he still had to play his play day, basically, right? And I don't think it's very favorable for the viewers, for the casters, for the players who actually have to play against, because it feels like a half-baked cookie or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all raw and gooey inside.
Yeah, it's not cookie dough, which is awesome, and it's not a complete cookie, which is awesome. It's something in between. I don't know, like.
Yeah, it just makes you sick.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I recently had that issue. Baked some cookies myself, and they were raw inside, and then I puked up all my cookies.
Oh man. I hope you got better by now.
Oh yeah, no worries. That was ages ago.
Okay.
A couple of weeks. But you know, it just fit quite nicely, that story. I just thought I'd use it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the first game should be starting soon. However, Sulaco has texted me, and he feels like he would rather focus on Quake Champions, which obviously is his decision. But I'm not really,
Alright.
I'm not entirely sure what that would mean for the cup.
I guess he forfeits.
It could be, which means that. Which means that Eiko would already be through, kind of, because Repeat was or is without a chance, I would say. Is he? Yes, he is. Yeah.
So there could be only one game, which is...
Exactly. Which would be in 1 hour and 35 minutes, which would be a pity, because we had 3 games scheduled for today.
Well, that's the problem when somebody releases a AAA game this week, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody wanting to play it, stream it.
I agree. Yeah, so maybe let's take the time until we know for sure to talk a bit about Quake Champions, and I'm gonna switch the scene here, which is this, so people can actually see me. I've played the closed betas. I think it's a cool game. I think it's a good game. Did it hit my sweet spot? Not yet. And to be fair, since the beta, whatever, is public for 1 or 2 days
NDA.
now. Yeah, the NDA was lifted. I haven't touched it. I haven't touched it a single time, and I'm not so intrigued by now. I'm pretty sure that I will watch it because Quake almost produces really fantastic and awesome games to watch, like this last Quake Con finals between Rafa and Evil. It was an amazing finals, I think, well played by both players. But would I actually play it? I don't know, dude. It's so different to UT.
It is, but to be honest, it's so different from its previous incarnates as well. Like
I agree.
Previous Quakes. Like I've played a couple of duels, and I felt as if I could compete in this game, which is quite a fascinating thing because technically the core of the game is very similar, but I feel as if this Quake Champions, it adds kind of more abilities to get out, which is more familiar when playing Unreal Tournament. And in Unreal Tournament, I like to generate a lot of space. And in the previous Quakes, I never felt as if I could do that very effectively. Or if I got into a fight against a very good player, usually you have to commit to that fight because the movement is very predictable once you try and leave a fight. So you're either thrown into the air and destroyed by rockets or whatever, or just finished off very quickly.
I agree.
When a fight is actually engaged. But now, because of the abilities, you can now essentially escape fights. And so it adds a whole new sort of dynamic for players like myself that wasn't quite all about the positioning in Quake. So it gives actually more chances to newer players. I think it's a really brave move by the Quake dudes, and I just hope that they embrace it and love it as well. It's really important that they do because, Arena FPS is coming back in a big way, and if Quake does well, that means UT is going to do well.
Yep, I totally agree on that one. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting how players transition from one game to the other, and also how Quake Champions will dive into the world of esports in general. I'm really curious. From what I've seen the last couple of days, actually, let me just check it from the view account on Twitch. I think on the first evening it might have been around 19k or something like that. Let's actually have a look how much it is now.
Well, it did go up to about 50 when Summit started streaming it. So they've been doing well for numbers, but Summit.
Yeah, but you can't really factor him in, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's a very general streamer. He's not really into any specific game, right? And it's already down to around 5,000 with Kula leading the viewership basically. But I think he streams in Russian. A lot of guys actually stream in Russian. Some Swedish players. Yeah, really curious what's gonna happen to that game. To be fair, I think if UT comes out, there will also be a spike at the very beginning because it will get a lot of coverage and media exposure and everything involved, and also gamers, streamers, whatever, like Summit 1G or Lyric. Soda Poppin, they will all jump on any new game, right? So they will also most likely do that on Unreal Tournament. So it will get some decent exposure.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get Summit and Lyric back because they played it very, very, very early on. Like year one, couple of months in, when I think Outpost was first released. But what happened is every UT player just jumped in their stream.
So they were basically stream sniping.
Yeah, stream sniping wrecked them, and then they didn't enjoy the game, obviously.
Yeah.
They were winning beforehand, and then it's just like, oh, this is really bad. Oh, I'm just getting wrecked. And then they just stop playing. It's like, why did you do that? You're hurting the game.
Yep. Actually, that's true. And you cannot forget that if Summit actually has a bad experience and quits it after a few maps and is furious, he's like an opinion leader, and he will prime all the whatever 20,000 viewers which were on his stream and will watch his stream as a VOD, and it might actually have a really bad impact on an overall game. Right?
Oh, definitely, yeah. The thing he said is that I prefer the Quake movement, and I watched Summit play yesterday, and he doesn't have Quake movement. He doesn't know how to use Quake movement at all, really. So it's just that he got angry and started saying that Quake's better because he prefers the movement. It's like,
Also,
you don't know how to move.
Also, what I think is just even though the Quake movement is kind of difficult and hard to master, right? With exact strafe jumping or even bunny hopping now with this one character in Quake Champions, it still is, let's say, very, very much predictable. What they do is basically they enhance the travel distances, the jumping length and stuff like that, right? And that's what good movement players do in Quake Champions. But there's nothing unpredictable like a dodge into the opposite direction or a wall dodge or something like that, right? So
yeah, I mean,
it's still very predictable in Quake.
What I always found with the difference between the movement between Quake and Unreal Tournament is that across maps, you're so much faster. You can gank much quicker in Quake. It's just that when you get into a combat situation, the fights are a hell of a lot slower. As in, they're very much more linear, in your face, and you know exactly what's going to happen. There's no real surprises unless somebody pulls out a rocket jump.
Exactly. I totally agree.
But in UT, with the dodges, with the slides, I mean, even with the slight sort of air control that you got in UT, you dodge one way, but as soon as you're in mid dodge, you press the other strafe key, and you've halved your dodge distance and sort of thrown somebody's sort of hit scan aim off as they're trying to track you through it and stuff. It's
Absolutely.
things like that. And of course, wall dodging is like the best thing ever for a projectile game, like to avoid getting hit by rockets or flak and stuff like that.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. I had to experience that myself because in previous UT iterations I was kind of the rocket launcher dude, right? And the UT4 rocket launcher feels so different in regards of your opponents being able to just jump up a ramp or do this dodge and then a wall dodge, or dodge onto a wall, slide, and then do a wall dodge and stuff like that. So it's crazy opportunities to actually evade projectiles in UT4 right now.
It's good. I really actually love the movement in UT4. I know that some people are a little bit on the fence because it wasn't like their previous UT, but the amount of options there is great. I don't know where Epic want to take it. Do they want to remove some of those options? I have no idea. But I'm not too fussed if they do. It could help clean up some messaging, because there is a lot of things to sort of bind and have your keys sorted, and it's not that welcoming for a new player, I must admit. But
yeah,
once I'm used to all these elements, I'm not bothered by them, and they just extend the time that I end up playing with the game.
I agree. Yep. Specifically, I had problems with weapon bindings in the current build because they were not named anymore. But I think it's really just a temporary thing.
Yeah, I don't know why that actually happened, because they were named at the very, very start and for a very long time, and then they just became like Group 1, Group 2.
Exactly. I'm not entirely sure myself. I guess it has to do with the implementation of the grenade launcher, as well as a sort of differentiation between the shock and the insta-grip shock, or something like that.
Maybe you're right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, I don't know for sure, but
when you double up weapons and stuff, yeah, that makes sense. That could be it.
Yep.
When I've been playing Quake Champions recently,
really you have, yeah?
It. Great game, yeah. I've been playing it. I was playing it last night until about 4 a.m. Really enjoying it, but the things that annoy me is just the standard new game issues that every game will have. And when I played it, I was quite proud that UT has such a good netcode now, because the netcode is a little bit shaky right now for Quake Champions. And the warping, the lagging that you constantly get on servers, it can be incredibly frustrating.
Yep.
And yeah, and you're not 100% trusting the system kind of yet. But these are teething problems, and
exactly
a lot more people get their hands on the game, lots more traffic. So
I think what Quake Champions does nicely in terms of a more casual audience is actually implement those different champions. I think they're called champions, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's not as 100% skill focused as it used to be, or let's call it, it's not as hardcore as it used to be, and it gives players like Summit, like Lyric, who are not hardcore FPS arena players, actually the chance of still winning battles. So I guess it's more easy for a newcomer to actually join Quake Champions than the previous installations of Quake, as well as the Unreal Tournament installation, specifically with all the movements we just mentioned. I have an update from Zulako. Yeah, he actually really wants to focus on Quake Champions, so he is dropping out of the tournament.
Oh, okay.
He says that his opponents, because I asked him if he still wants to play, because we were, hoping that we would have 3 matches today, and then he said that Eiko deserves. I gotta look at the wording here. So he deserves an opponent who gives a damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of agree that if you're not really behind something, you don't wanna like do it. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's understandable.
Like Silico's a great UT player and a core UT player, and it's just the fact that the game isn't ready and can't really support a player like Silico right now, which is really upsetting, because this is what's going to happen whenever like Overwatch came out, when Quake came out. People will just switch game because they want to compete. That's
exactly.
Arena FPS players are famous for doing this, and they love to compete on a high level. And if there's no infrastructure there to let you compete,
exactly, yeah,
there's no like real drive. Like I really want to compete in UT. Like I love commentating, I love talking, I love making the videos. But if there's an actual big tournament, my brain is immediately going, I really want to play in this. Like, if Epic just like, here's $50,000 for doing an event, LAN, I'm there. Like, you won't see me for weeks as I'll be underground training, doing my Rocky montage.
Yeah, you could actually come to my gaming mansion here and do a bootcamp.
Yeah, man, I'd definitely do that.
The Screw Belly Summers, who are basically really awesome. Who needs sun if you can have proper bootcamp?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm the same type of person. My friends kind of think I'm crazy because I did that in the past while I was playing UT 2K4 and before that. But well, that's just what you do, what I do, what probably Fatality did in the past. What certain other pro players or good players did in the past, and it's what they will always do.
I even bootcamp with Fatality.
Oh, did you? Before which event and which game?
Quake 4 before London WSVG, whatever it's called.
All right, that was in 2K6 or something.
Yeah,
something like
the
that.
One. I chucked a mug at him. It was fun. I raged.
That's funny, man.
He's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He can quite full on, to be honest. When he starts giving you some taunts if you're not living up to his training regime.
Yeah,
it was an education, that was for sure.
I'm pretty sure that's a completely different level of let's say training ethics and approaches.
Yeah, definitely. Completely foreign to me at the time, but it was good to understand how other people work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was very different from boot camping from Sturmy. He was very relaxed and chilled.
So it was relaxed and chill, or Fatality?
Yeah, Sturmy. Fatality was kind of the opposite. But he was chilled when he was in game. But he would then throw out some taunts to make you play better or whatever. And sort of do this typical American sort of break you but build you up.
Yeah. You probably watched too many bootcamp, like child bootcamp episodes.
Yeah. But really, I didn't really help his game. He probably helped my game more than anything else. So.
Yep.
I wasn't very good at Quake, or Quake 4 at the time.
didn't click too much. However, I think that Quake Champions could click with me if I just gave it a little bit more time than I did. Specifically, if you compare the current version to what was there, I don't know, a month ago when I actually played it.
Yeah,
But yeah.
Mate, you spend a couple of hours, you're done. You'll get it, you'll be fine, and you'll start to do what you usually do when you're engaging in something new and competitive. You'll look for every angle, and you'll start to enjoy it more.
Mm-hmm. Gonna be very curious. I think it's gonna be. I mean, hypothetically, if Epic would go for a sort of esports circuit for another tournament, then I'm really curious if players would play Quake or UT. You know, if both had like a ceteris paribus kind of similar baselines. You know, both games released, both games have an esports scene which is promoted by the developer/publisher, and then I would really be interested if Azulaco or if Hypno, if they would stick to UT or rather to Quake, because they, like Hypno is kind of in between, and he's exactly on the path you were mentioning. He just wants to compete, and he has the opportunity to do that in Quake Champions at this very point, right?
Yeah, Hypno is definitely a contender. I played him last night. My God, man, that guy is frighteningly good. Like, I don't know how he picked it up so quickly. Like, I think I've played more Quake than he has in the past, and he's already smashing me. He's finding his way very quickly, and he's so dedicated that everything just comes naturally easy to him.
That's the point. He's really dedicated, and while the rest of the mousesports UT team has been playing UT, he actually spent his weekends on Quake Champions. Every single one.
He's looking to the immediate future, and a lot of players do that. And like you said, if there was a pro UT circuit already, I don't think he'd be playing Quake right now. Do you know what I mean?
I agree. Specifically, if you have this weird duel thing with champions, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's been pretty on the fence about that as well, but he's actually starting to embrace it, I think, a little bit more now. He's getting used to it, and he's warming up to the idea. Like, of course, it breaks that duel that we all know and love. And people are pretty scared about it, worried about adapting or learning a different style, but I guess you
really got to give it some time, play at least a tournament, or let a tournament commence and see what learnings you can drag out of that. And if the mode really sucks, I'm pretty sure that id Software or whoever's responsible for the current Quake Champions would kind of change or alter it so it's actually watchable or more enjoyable and stuff like that. So gotta wait and see.
I feel players just need to get over the insecurities of how they play and just dig in like they used to when they first started playing any game. Like when I first started playing 2K4 competitively, I didn't care about weapon balance. I didn't care about what was what. All I wanted to do was win. And that should be the only goal when you enter any game competitively. You shouldn't be looking to blame the game or find
absolutely.
And because you're just making excuses at the end of the day, and you're just going to annoy yourself. And yes, there are annoying parts of the game, but every player has to deal with that in their own way. And some players find more things annoying than others. And
exactly.
I hate it when people just bring out these niggling points, and it's like, oh, why isn't it like this? Why isn't it like that? Why wasn't it like this from the previous game? It's like,
dude, it's a new version, Yeah.
It's interesting to see how Quake works out and what UT can learn as well, because it's going to evolve, and we're going to see how Quake does, and UT's going to take it on board, and hopefully when the UT Pro Circuit comes in, that it's going to be just as good, if not better.
Yep. But that exactly will be the time for UT to survive, because Quake Champions now is in a beta. It will be available soon, and definitely sooner than UT. And as you said, the immediate future will feature Quake Champions. So the logical step for the players would be I'm gonna go for a break on UT. I focus my efforts on Quake Champions and see how well I'm gonna do there. And then, obviously, if UT is close to release or to a public beta, and Epic is investing some money in an esports or pro circuit, then it might be time to come back. If you really want to go pro in a game that is, then you basically only have that chance.
I kind of hope it ends up like the fighting games community, where they have several different games at big events like Evo and stuff. With the fighting games community, they seem to be a bit more adaptable and play multiple games. They do have their main game, but they obviously switch between them as well, or have done in the past. I think maybe that's phasing out a little bit more as Street Fighter becomes the big pro circuit as well as the other games and Smash. But it was really interesting because the way they rose to their fame is because they all came together and all turned up for the same events, playing different games and embracing each other's game and having this sort of mixed community that likes everything. But then again, it's probably going to have that sort of under circuit pro scene that is a little bit more cynical and less accepting of different titles. But overall, they did a tremendously good thing by doing that at the start and helped build up the game, or those games, I should say, much better. And I hope that UT and Quake can kind of have that relationship, if you want, because just imagine if like Win started playing Quake and UT again, like in 2 different tournaments in a year. It'd be crazy.
Absolutely.
The king of both.
He's gonna wreck a lot of buildings.
It would remind me of the good old days. Be really nice, but I'd also just want to see some fresh new faces as well, and it seems to be happening, to be honest. There's been a lot of unknown Quake players doing really well against some of the pros right now.
Some what Quake players? Some new Quake players?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fake nickers or people that have been relatively good at Quake Live but never really made a name for themselves, now really doing quite well in Duel at the moment.
But then again, I think that if there were some newcomers in Quake Live / old schoolers who kept on playing Quake Live, might be in a way better position than those old schoolers just returning to Quake who might have been on a very long break. I mean, I love a guy called Vicious. He played Under Tournament and then he played Painkiller. Very cool dude. But I watched him play. And he's been playing, I don't know, Hearthstone for I think 2 years straight, right? And seeing him coming back into an FPS game is like, I know what he's going through because I went through the same thing like 2 months ago. I had to catch up. I had to learn things newly and stuff like that. So it's really crazy. And obviously he's performing really poorly right now. But I know if he gives it some time, he will be a top player. Like don't get me wrong here. But it's just that a few other players also just came back, from a hiatus, and they will suck ass at the beginning.
You're totally right. I mean, when this UT came out originally, there was like only 2 people playing. It was like Tobe and Disc, and I just played Tobe all the time, and he smashed me like 30-0. He'd been like pretty fresh off of UT 99, and I haven't played any sort of UT in a long time. I just played every day, kept playing, and then I just started taking a game off of him here and there, and then I started winning the majority, and then he kind of stopped playing, even though he's probably a better player than me. It's just that he didn't want to keep playing. He didn't have the same drive, which is unfortunate, really, because I think he's a fantastically, amazingly brain player. When he entered one of the earlier cups, so smart. Some of the things that he was doing was just so unique and different from other players by playing almost like a CS style game, which nobody was doing at the time. It was a very aggressive game. And he was winning games against people that had been playing a lot more and were certainly more experienced in UT4 than he was at that time. It was just, I wish more people would sort of give things a chance like that. It's really annoying. Maybe the heart's just not in it anymore, and they really just want the nostalgia of the older games, but
could be, yeah. But also then if there's not really a pro perspective per se, it's really hard for like older guys like you and I, around or maybe even older than 30, then to just quit whatever job or passion they have found since playing pro, you know what I mean? And then if there's no long-term perspective, it's really hard to give your all into a game, obviously.
Yeah.
So that might be a reason too. Some people might be really good, find that they are talented, and then have to quit because they think, okay, if I can't go all in, what's the point then? Kind of happened to me eventually, way back in the day.
I think it happens to all of us at some point. Well, it has done for a lot of the arena generation anyway, for sure. Like when arenas disappeared for like a good 7 years or whatever between Quake 3 and now, not Quake 3, UT3, sorry, my bad. Like I just started doing other stuff in esports, working for Dignitas as a manager and learning different skills and trades and whatever I needed to do to survive in this eco structure at the time. And it gave me a unique perspective of how things work in esports. I think I'm pretty grateful to understand, like with the weapon models and stuff that have happened recently in UT4, everybody raging about why they're gone, but I knew that was gonna be a thing several years ago. Like as soon as Dota and LoL were showing the way that these could support tournaments and increase player salaries that go directly to the players or the mappers, it's just a no-brainer at the end of the day to do that. And to have a free game that is accessible to everyone and have just small microtransactions that don't affect the gameplay and, go towards the scene. And I think people are passionate enough about gaming that they're willing to do that. But, that a lot of the old school guys just only play these kind of games, only the arena. And so they don't understand what has gone in to Dota and LoL and don't understand the big end game, what they're trying to achieve and what UT is now trying to achieve. I mean, they've been incredibly open and listening to a lot of stuff. And
yep, I agree.
The feedback, people go, oh, the weapon balance is terrible. But the fact is they're listening and they're changing things so gradually and so over time that you don't really feel like the game is changing, even though it has done. It's a weird conundrum. Like the flak has been nerfed 5-6 times now in a row. It's like they're getting there. Just have a bit of patience. There's no need to be rushed right now. Not until like we're actually in Quake style sort of beta. Do you know what I mean? That's when you got to worry. But when I compare the netcodes from Quake to Unreal right now, it's just like night and day. It is tremendous what the UT guys have done with just a team of 12 people essentially.
I totally agree. Yeah. Takes a lot of time and evaluation in changing things, and in the pre-alpha you basically have the opportunity to change nudge by nudge and then basically see where you have to stop.
I mean, I spoke to Slash last night. He's like, oh, UT's been in alpha for 3 years. And I went, yeah, but it's been in 3 years of pre-alpha, and it was released on day one of the first line of code that was pretty much put out there. As soon as you could make a game out of it, it was released from that day. And with only a team of 12 people, it's done really well in those 3 years. Of course, I'd love all the maps to be meshed and actually have proper matchmaking working as intended.
That also is really important in arena FPS, maybe more than in all the other current tier 1 games, the matchmaking. Because if you're new to or a kind of bad player, could be too, then you will get totally stomped in arena games, while in other games like Counter-Strike, you might still be able to produce a headshot or something like that, so it's really important to have those skill differentiations and also mirror that into the brackets or matchmaking structures.
Yeah, and this is one thing that worries me about Quake at the moment. I'm fairly sure it's not something to really worry about because they probably already have intentions for proper skilled matchmaking. But at the moment, matchmaking is done by like a free-for-all. You join a queue and then you get given a game, and so people queue at the same time in order to consistently play each other and over again. But like we were playing the new game mode Sacrifice, and we didn't find any good players to play against at all. And you just think, well, this is a stomping ground that's going to stop a lot of players coming or learning this game, because they're just going to get wrecked by these pros that are trying to learn the game as fast as they can, because QuakeCon's round the corner.
Yep.
And this is going to be painful for them because of the matchmaking not being implemented. That as you progress in skill, you go up a higher ladder, that you only get good players playing against you, and that's not in Quake at the moment. It's just a free-for-all, essentially, matchmaking system that puts you in a queue, and you'll get the first opponent that's given to you, no matter what their skill rating is.
Yep, I agree. Very curious, but because I worked in the video game industry myself in development, I know for a fact that if you have a kind of small player base, matchmaking can be horrendous.
Yeah.
So it could make you wait for, we're not talking about 5 minutes here, but rather in 30 minutes, 35 minutes, if you actually want to make it accurate with a very small player base. And so I guess if Quake Champions is going to be released, especially if a tournament, also like any matchmaking game would be released and has a significant amount of or a crucial amount of players, then matchmaking should not be a problem. But as of now, with a couple of 100 players in Quake Champions, I don't think that matchmaking could work out too nicely, because players might have to wait for too long.
Yeah, quite possibly, yeah.
Okay, some questions from the chat was what's going on with Zulako. He forfeited his match because he is focusing his energy on Quake Champions. Well, that was one question. I'm going to check the other streams here. Carol Zentek says Quake Live was a little bit more attractive to watch for spectators than UT3. I mean, was UT3 good to watch in general? Probably not, because it was so dark.
Yeah, it was just messy because of the visual look they were going for. But back then, streaming wasn't a thing, and they weren't thinking of people watching games. They were just thinking of people playing games still. That wasn't even on the agenda back then. That's changed. Like the amount of times that I've told Epic that you got to simplify how a map looks because of bit rates, right? You get a little bit of like the snowflakes that are on chill. You play that on your stream, and because of all this data that's going on, the bit rate just goes to crap. And most people are only playing on like 6K now, isn't it? Is the standard, but it was 3.5 on streaming. It's just you can't see anything when that happens. It's just horrendous.
I agree. Yeah.
Both Quake and UT have always had the problems of putting too much detail into their games. They aimed a little bit lower on the bar, which I think UT is now doing, which is great. It goes a tremendously long way. And it's going to be really interesting to see the future maps that are developed. I mean, you can see it in Fort right now when they're developing this map. It's a lot more clearer in terms of player visibility and what they're going for in themes, because they've learned their mistakes from the previous maps, which is great. And that's exactly
I agree.
What you can use.
Let me just look at another question here. Fiora is saying he's just really glad that Arena FPS are back into the scene. Then Gruesome says he thinks Quake Champions being good. I think Quake Champions being good is good for UT. Oh yeah, that's reflecting what Zach and I think as well. That it's basically boosting the Arena FPS scene in general. Danko says Quake right now is top 20 games on Twitch. But yeah, the view count already is significantly lower than it was, and we're not even counting in some Summit guy who usually always has like 20 or maybe 30k viewers.
Yeah, don't read into the Twitch thing too much. I think people tend to go a little bit crazy, because I remember when Overwatch came out, and after the first day, it went down to like several pages down, and nobody could see it on the front page anymore. And they're like, "Oh, Overwatch is dead. This is the
Yeah,
worst
yeah.
game ever. Like, come on. Like, it's just ridiculous.
I agree. What else do we have in the chat? Chem 12 win, or Chem 1 to win, or Chemi to win, I don't know. Says the problem with UT is that there's not enough players. When I got 10 games in 2 days, my games started to get pretty good. But when there's not enough people, it just means you get whoever. Anyway, I'm not entirely sure what you mean. If like,
I think he's referring to our earlier talk about matchmaking, perhaps.
maybe.
It's really interesting because with a small player base, it's as you were saying, it's not great to have matchmaking because you wait ages for a game, and it'll be a really tough game, perhaps, maybe. But it's kind of good in this kind of ecosystem that we're in that a lot of the good players don't use the matchmaking because a lot of the new players are using it, and even though it's very small, they're at least avoiding coming into contact with experiencedly good players that are just going to destroy them.
I tried matchmaking once on stream, and I immediately got a beginner player, and just played kind of normal. I was not trying to play bad, and the guy had no chance, and he even disconnected after 3 frags because he sensed it was kind of pointless for him to play. So, yep, I agree on that one.
Luckily, like a lot of the good players don't play in matchmaking yet, but I want them to play in matchmaking. It's just that when we go into a big launch sort of state, our matchmaking system will be there from day one and be polished because very early on I told the Epic devs and a lot of the other guys in the UT community said exactly the same thing. Like, you need to develop it early rather than later because you need to flesh out these bugs. If it doesn't work on day one, it affects so much.
Yep.
And they were holding back on this decision for a long time. They didn't even implement anything for a long time, and then they started to do that, which is great because if a matchmaking system goes live and you get a shit ton of shit games, then you're not going to play again. Like, matchmaking is so important these days.
Yep, I totally agree. That's basically what happened with Paragon. I played Paragon at the beginning, and matchmaking was implemented. And it was just horrible. And you were being matched with shitty teammates, and you were playing against teams which were also consisting of good and bad players. So, like, it was always a coin flip of who had the worst players, basically. It's different in Arena FPS, obviously, because you're not as reliant on objectives as anything else.
I wonder how Paragon is now, though, because I've never really played it. I think I played it in its really early alpha, and that's about it.
I thought the graphics are pretty cool, and since I dropped out of Paragon, I haven't touched it. I guess that's reflecting your theory about bad experiences with matchmaking. For me,
possibly.
Yeah, because for me, because the team game, you're so reliant on your teammates, and if you always get crappy teams in terms of that, there's always 1 or 2, maybe even 3 bad players. Like at some point, you knew who the good players were because we're like a bunch of 100 players or something, and a majority of just horribly bad players who seem to have played MOBAs for the first time, or maybe because it was free to play. Just downloaded it and were kind of bad, not committed to the game and stuff like that. Yeah, shit happens. But I thought I'm spending hours of my day into a game with a horrible matchmaking. I'm out of here. And I tried for at least 4 weeks or something like that. But after that, I was done. And then Overwatch came out. See, and that's how quickly the transition basically went.
But like, look at Overwatch with its matchmaking, so farly superior. Like, in the end, like, Overwatch's matchmaking system, I think, was pretty much perfect. It did annoy me at the end because playing with friends sort of punished you more, which was kind of annoying. Like, you play with good friends, but then obviously you get worse teammates with your good friends because obviously you're queuing together. and that kind of really frustrated me a lot because you start hating your own mates because you're losing like 6 games in a row and you're trying to find something to blame, and it's like it's not a good environment. But I think that's the only way they can possibly do it in a fair sort of situation. And even though people rage about the matchmaking system in Overwatch, I think it's by far the best one I've played in a first-person shooter ever, and that worked from day one pretty much.
Yep. Just gonna check if there's anything in the chat. Well, Cam says that he likes the puck servers. I agree. I think it's a nice way for experienced players to, I don't know, join in groups together without having the bloody beginners in their own or the opponent teams. But then again, matchmaking per se would be better. Like if there's a really good matchmaking, obviously you wouldn't have to do pucks. But that's what it is right now.
I think an aim that I'd like to see is Dota 2 matchmaking, which I don't know if you've played much Dota 2, but you can basically sign up as a team. You add 5 players to your team, and then you do team matchmaking where you're in a team ladder essentially.
That's nice, yeah.
It's
I like
a
that.
far superior system, and I think if that option was available from day one, then people would start gathering teammates, finding good players, and that would cement them playing in that matchmaking instead of the other public modes where they would sort of casually go in just having fun in a deathmatch or whatever.
Yeah.
And once a scene's generated, I think a lot of players are okay with a pro joining a game if they know who the pro is and going, oh my god, it's a pro. But I think it'd be nice to identify pros with whatever icon when they go into those games, so when people do play against them, they're not like, oh my god, oh shit. They're more excited to play against them. Like I used to be when like Steve-O or Shaggy turned up into a game. I'd be like, oh my god, like I want to beat these guys. I want to go for it.
I remember both. Yeah, nice. I agree. That's actually a pretty cool idea with the icon, or maybe even if there's certain skill brackets like in League of Legends. Then you could easily see, oh man, that's a challenger dude, or it's a diamond guy, stuff like that. And then you wouldn't be mad to get wrecked by them, and would rather think, okay man, wow, I just get wrecked by this really popular and good player. What can I learn from it?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we need to do, and I think more messaging on that front. Like I've said many times that I'd love to see Epic, when somebody's a world champion or a team's a world champion, have their own skins incorporated into the game. The actual face, they get to choose their race. They can be a Scar, they could be a Necros, and you go, okay, we're going to make you guys like the bots as the final bots in the game. I just think that'd be brilliant. Like because you have Zan's season 1 or whatever from the previous UTs, who was always like the winner and stuff, and then suddenly it's Hypno or whatever. He's the final boss that you'd play if you were playing the single player campaign. And then you just keep adding on to the rosters. You keep adding these players in. You get a whole bunch of different bots and stuff.
Cool idea, yeah.
The player also, when he goes into a game, will have his own unique skin too.
That's pretty awesome. Awesome stuff there.
It's a lot of work though. It's more of a like 150 people on a game sort of team thing to do that. But I dream big. What can I say?
No, it's a good thing. I like. I rather like those kind of goals or dreams than being not visionary enough. Because even if you get half of what you envision there, then it's still gonna be really cool. But if you spend so much effort on really tiny things which don't really make a difference, I don't know. I'd rather think big. As well.
I mean, you might as well try and push the boat out as much as possible.
Exactly. Okay, repeat's gonna be here in about 10 to 15 minutes. Just a heads up.
Okay. Oh wow, that's good. Is Connects here? Is he ready to play as well?
Let me see. He's playing under tournament right now. Kinix, it is. So I guess
Okay,
he's
so-
warming up or something.
But I'm just saying if Heiko and Connect want to push the game forward or whatever.
Oh yeah. Let me ask them. Let me ask them. Let's see what they say. While I give them time to reply, let's have a look at the chat. Selamiander says, do you think there's still place for games like Under Tournament when more games are for casuals? I mean, differences in good and bad players are not so huge. I think that's been the case forever, that more casual games like Counter-Strike attract more players, and I don't think it's gonna change. And if Quake and if an Unreal Tournament stay true to their roots, they might just go as far as Quake Champions is going, with the like variety of champions with certain skills. And I don't think that Quake Champions will actually do more casual things than that. At least it doesn't look like it right now.
No,
And so
I think this is as casual
as it's gonna get. Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. I think everything's got a niche, a place. I mean, you know, football is the biggest sport in the world. Undoubtedly, the World Cup is amazing, but you know, why can't we be like the tennis?
Yeah.
That's how I see arenas in that sort of regard. Like, we're not football, but we could be tennis. We could be another small sport that gets a lot of attention when those big tournaments come around.
Yep. I think it's a good comparison between tennis and soccer/football, because tennis is by far the most skill reliant game with the least amount of variables in terms of luck variables, while soccer or football actually is a very low scoring game and is so prone to the variables playing a big role. You have 11 versus 11 players, which is an insane amount of variables on the field already. And then you have the umpires, and then you have the grass, and there could be some shit going on there, and it's so endless of like how many luck factors are in soccer. And then you compare like a medium ground, I would say, between tennis on the one extreme and soccer on the other extreme would probably be basketball, which is still very skill reliant. Then the amount of plays per team is reduced, and then the rule set is very, very, very strict, and you even have like referees, you have videos and everything, which like makes sure that everything is going according to a rule or a rule set.
Indeed, it's weird. Has that been implemented yet? Goal line technology in football? Like, I know it's a big thing a long time ago, but has it actually become a thing yet? And do they like watch it back and like go, okay, that goal counted? It's a bit off topic, but
I don't think too much that it's off topic, because it's a very important discussion. When do you want to have technology in the game, and when do you not? And to be fair, I'm not a soccer fan at all, but like a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks, was FC Bayern München, I think, against Barcelona or something like that, and there were so many misjudgments by the referees that you actually have to think. I mean, those players earn millions of dollars of money per year and have several millions of sponsorship endorsements. And then what it comes down to is like referee decisions. And in my opinion, FC Bayern München, they played 10 versus 11, which was already based on a bad referee decision, and then another bad referee decision led them to basically lose, and it's really crazy. Like this guy was what's it called, offside or something like that.
Yeah.
Ronaldo. I mean he clearly was, right, and he still scored the goal, and it was counted, and it's crazy, man. For Champions League, where dude, like, how can it even be?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Do they not change it on purpose for some, like, in terms of getting more exposure? When things go wrong, people talk about it and rage about it, and it gets more eyes on. And maybe that's the idea that FIFA go with. Like, just why not just have it more luck based? Because when things go crazy, they really do, and it's kind of very weird. Like, a lot of people used to love watching Painkiller because there was a lot of luck based aspects to it, which is kind of fucked up in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like, the telefragging was so common in that game. Like, you get control, you'd spend 5 minutes trying to get it back, and you get it, and finally somebody who's just off a fresh spawn waits at a teleporter, goes in at the same time as you and kills you, and the control's lost instantly, and you're just like, oh my. And then you had the stake gun, which was a 200 damage spawn gun weapon.
Really ridiculous. So whatever map control you basically built up can be nullified by a freshly spawning players who actually is in that position because he was in a disadvantage before and was fragged. Yeah. It's also crazy shit going on. So we are changing the schedule for now. Kinix will play Echo at 1800, which is in 3 minutes.
Cool.
So I would like to ask both players to pick their maps. I'm just going to let them know in Discord.
It seems odd. With the FIFA thing.
And I'm clearly not for one team or against another. I think from a competitive point of view, it's just completely silly what they do. That's my opinion. All right. Some people from chat say it's because FIFA is antiquated. They don't want to modernize for some reason. I'm not sure what reason is behind it, but if you would be very much superstitious or would believe in the bad in people, then or cynical, I would say I'm making this statement now. I'm saying being very cynical right now. FIFA just doesn't want to change the rules because they would lose the ability to influence players and referees. Period.
So you think some like fixing going on? Like,
I'm not saying. I'm just saying this. Like very cynically. I'm just saying they would lose a lot of momentum in being able to influence the outcomes and the players and stuff like that. And that's just that's for me the only let's say human reason why they would not change the rule set into a more technologically supported and more precise kind of play. Yeah.
Just imagine if football was more like gaming, right? And that we're going to have football 2.0 soon with no corrupt FIFA.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wonder if all the professional players would switch game.
Suddenly they play hockey or basketball.
I'm just curious, Yeah. It'd be interesting to see that dynamic anyway.
Yep. Fiara said, funnily enough, he said FIFA is not corrupt. Kappa. Yeah. Pretty much. Alright, so guys, we have our first game coming up very, very briefly.
Have we
It's
been told which hub?
not yet. They're still banning / picking, so it's gonna be Echo versus Kinex. I'm just going to update the players here in my overview. That's gonna be that. Let's make it whatever 1850. Okay, very nice. So that is that. Map list is going to actually. I'm gonna take a note. Map list is gonna be solo, sempiternal, ASTF, pure, and erase. All right. Sempiternal. It's probably Echo's pick. Oh no, it's not. It's Kinex's pick. Okay, wow. And pure is also a pick by Kinex. All right.
It's a great pick from Kinex, to be fair, providing that Echo isn't well rehearsed on it, but
I
probably
agree.
tells me he might be. I've seen him a couple of times playing it, but
Have you? I haven't. I've not seen Echo play for the last few weeks. Let me just ask for the hub. Okay. Kinex is in a hub. I'm not sure which one. Kinex is on the UT4 GER Hub 1 ESL Dual right now. Okay. And it seems like Echo is going to join that as well. So first map solo. Kinex already on the server, just waiting for Echo to connect.
I'm already spectating. I'm in.
Yeah, 2 spectators. Nice. I'm gonna let Kinex know. Ready when you are. Casters are ready when you are. I'm not sure if I have Echo on my friend list, but he's not connected anyway. So whoever turned in or tuned in just now, this is the ESL Under Tournament Dual Spring League 2017. The first scheduled match of the day was Zulaco against Echo. Zulaco dropped out of the tournament. He wants to focus on Quake Champions. And the remaining games of today going to be Echo against Ginix and Echo against Repeat. And my lovely co-caster here, very insightful, is Zacubus, the gentleman from Great Britain.
Thank you very much. What a great introduction. Very grateful. Thanks, Dragon. Thanks for having me. And,
of course, dude. Yeah,
I would say nice things about you, but I don't think I need to. There's too many nice things that you do for everybody else.
Probably, yeah. What was I about to say that... Do you already know when we have the playoffs? Was there any date? Do you know?
I do not. It all depends on Wasteful, I guess. What he wants to do, how he wants to run it.
Okay, so in case Wasteful already knows the dates of the playoffs, then let us know in Discord and we will announce them here, so that everyone who joins in, at the end of the play day, will be informed and can just tune in at the right time. Alright, Echo just connected. Let me just have another look at the map picks. So this was Echo's map pick and ASDF as well. So I tend to want to watch Echo here on this one, as it's his map pick.
Go for it.
And both players say have fun, and I say good luck.
3, 2,
Match is starting.
1.
Okay, Aiko with the shock spawn immediately grabs some vials, while Kinix grabbed the sniper rifle, probably in a little bit better position right now.
I prefer Aiko's fine positioning for the whole armor here. He connects back on his positioning, providing he doesn't lose his ammo, which he has done, and is now left with the enforcer.
I was about to say that Aiko unfortunately only had very little ammo for the shock rifle, which is why I was opinion that he was in a kind of worse spot, because it was already spamming a lot towards Kinix. But Kinix did not take advantage of that.
The pressure is on Aiko picking up the first frag. Good combo, blocking off the health packs there, and then just coming in with flat kills to finish off the job. He's going to claim the first belt, and looking pretty comfortable. And nice projection combo, just slightly a little bit too late though. Getting a good read and connects, and knowing that he's gone to the shock, he's just going to back off, pick up some vials towards the Lincoln.
Very nice stack for Aiko right now, but immediately was hit by Kinix. Oh, really nice combo placement by Aiko. Briefly was about to just follow up on Kinix to finish him off, but he heard Kinix shooting a shock ball and was fearing that that might turn into a combo, which is why he actually took the lower route. Now is positioning himself in order to get the next shield belt.
Finds it fairly easily there, and Kinix will find himself the 122. Aiko's on the hunt, comes in with a combo on the top of Kinex's head, jumps down to the back of the lift to try and help his opponent, but is making his way behind the sniper area. Looks back towards the launcher, and not a great move. Aiko able to extend his lead 2-0 though, but relatively still low scoring at the moment. Kinix needs to slow down the game a little bit more and find his own pace here, but will he be able to do it against a player such as Aiko? I don't know.
Aiko deliberately took the 100 armor in order to go for a little hunt, because usually he would have been able to just let it be there a little longer and basically take it right now when he actually needs it. It seemed he was feeling he had the edge over Kinix, but it did not pay off for him. Kinix now has the shield belt, his first shield belt, and can go for a little hunt himself.
Indeed he can. I mean, all possible because of those lovely shot primaries that he was doing across the map. And Aiko, he just absolutely hammered him. And I think he was on 3 HP, and he managed to pick up some health packs to get healed back up. But a great headshot there from Aiko. He's now going to be able to try and push onto this next 100 here. He really wants a great dodge with the lift jump just at the right time. Kinix going to be slightly annoyed that he didn't detonate the combo earlier, but man, such reactions there from Aiko. Belt's coming up in 7 seconds. Kinix is in a great position for it.
Oh, another nice headshot.
Aiko, what a dirty player. Just when you think like you're in a great position and then suddenly that headshot comes out.
Oh wow, he actually ran out of ammunition off the shock combo. Would have been a sure kill for him.
Yeah, very annoying, and he takes a lot of damage and punishment because of it as well. A nice combo.
Now the chance for Kinix.
It's just a shame it didn't finish him off there. I was so unlucky. Kinix is actually playing really well right now. I mean, he's given away 2 early frags, but I mean, Aiko really earned those frags, and now Kinix is looking like he wants to pounce and get one back himself with 5 minutes left on the clock. he can definitely do that if he could just land another combo like he did earlier.
I think Kinix is evaluating the situation a little bit poorly right now, because he had about 15 seconds to go on a hunt for Eiko to close up on those frags. But what he actually did is he was rather focusing on the pads and the sniper rifle, and missed definitely one opportunity to get closer to winning this match.
Connect evens out the stacks with a good sniper shot across the map. He's got the high ground advantage right now by the flat cannon. He's just looking for an angle, and it lets Eiko slip towards the armor, unfortunately. He was trying to get the frag, he was trying to chase it, but he just misread the situation, went onto the wrong side of the map.
Nice sniper work, and another primary shock. And another really, really nice and precise sniper shot there, forcing Kinix to get some HP and the shock rifle.
Such a risky move from Eiko, but it pays off beautifully. Connects just wasn't ready enough for that.
He was not expecting Eiko there and had the wrong weapon in his hand. If he had just one flak shot or maybe even a rocket, could have been the death of Eiko.
It's really unfortunate, because even with the shock rifle out, it's not horrendously bad to have out at that point, because obviously one shot you knock him off. But he just missed such an easy shot as he was jumping in towards him.
Really nice combo there. Forcing Kinix to retreat yet again to the same position he had to retreat earlier.
Interesting backing off here from Eiko. I didn't expect that. I was expecting a full-on aggressive push there through the shield belt area, but
yeah, it seems
to let it go.
It seems like he just wanted to focus on like running around and getting the items, to give really no chance of Kinix to get a decent stack here. And again, both players face up in a really close dogfight, and both again were too afraid to do something with it.
And that's really, really nicely done by Kinix. I mean, he was at a huge disadvantage on the stack, but lands two great rockets that really forced Eiko to back off and really think about what he wanted to do in that fight. It was really unlucky. Just 5 more bits of damage, and I think Eiko would have fallen, but Kinix decides that it's not worth taking risks and backs off himself at the same time. Like, I feel in that situation when you're down already and both players are low and you've got a frag deficit, you need to go for the frag at that point. Like, you don't have the luxury against a player of this caliber. 2 minutes can feel like an eternity, but it's really hard to gain 3 frags back against a player like this.
Oh, nice prediction there. Unfortunately not connecting a combo. One minute 40 to go, 3 frags difference, and Eiko has the shield belt.
Again, some great sniper work there from Connect. He knows where the jump's going to happen. He's going to try and position himself to get up top. Does so. Misses the opening shot, and now the combo is going to lock him out of his 100 armor. Surely, nicely done from Eiko. Dives down.
Almost hit that. Very important combo. Nice defensive rocket work by Kinix though.
Yeah, definitely.
The last minute, nothing's impossible. 3 frags could happen, but Kinix really has to kick up at least 1 gear here.
Yeah, going in aggressive onto the belt. Finds a little bit of damage, but nothing too concrete. And now he needs to lift, jump, and push the opponent off that belt.
Yeah, and Kinix did give Eiko a lot of room to actually push him away from the shield belt.
30 seconds left.
And even getting it.
Nicely done with Connects, but
20 seconds to go.
It's going to be easy running here from Eiko. So I hope I'm wrong. I hope
Even
there's a frag in
if
the
he's
next 5
getting
seconds.
one more kill here, it's gonna be really, really difficult.
He's going to get away with it. There's not enough time for the respawn unless Echo clicks in, which he's not going to do.
Wow, very, very close. Nice comeback. Unfortunately, about 1 minute too late. He certainly, well, Kinix it is, did have his chances to go get back on Echo.
Yeah, there was just a need to be a little bit more fearless, need a bit more repeat GG in your gameplay style, you know, like he was doing last week for us, where he was just, you know, he was in a down situation, but he would go in aggressive because he had to make up the frags. And unfortunately, Repeat did it a little bit too much.
Yep,
But,
I agree.
you know, put in a little bit of Repeat GG's kind of play style in there a little bit more often. And I think Connect could have actually turned that game around at some point.
But after all, map number 1, DM Solo, was Echo's choice. So let's see how Sempiternal plays out. I love those taunts.
Me too. Such funky music.
Yeah, it's not bad, right? Both players are on the server. DM Sempiternal, one of the community maps. And Kinix's map choice. Good luck and have fun.
Three, two, one.
Alright. Going to follow Kinix, who had the shock rifle and flag spawn. Certainly not a bad one at all. Oh, that was such a great chance for Kinix to just hit Echo for one tiny bit more of a flag shrapnel. Certainly not what he expected. Echo leading 1-0 now, only after a few seconds of this second map. Kinix, however, has both the armors. A very, very nice flick rocket. Shield Belt's gonna spawn in 2 seconds. Echo might get the armor in the meantime, which spawned at the same time. Very, very nice combo as the Shield Belt. Kinix was able to reduce already a third of the potency.
Heiko did well there. But Connect kind of recovers the situation quite nicely with the combo. He was going in for the killer blows combo, obviously, but Heiko was able to use the impact hammer to deny one of the combos. Would have killed him. But, oh, the sniper play coming out from Heiko now is just devastating. Connect
nice
into that
combo
corner,
though.
but great retaliation there. Good defensive play from Connect. Turns the
So the
situation
armor's
back
up.
into his favor.
Echo should be out of ammo soon. And shock rifle. Oh, Kinix missing 2 rather easy shots.
Such aggressive play from Eiko on that belt. Pushes Connect back. But he's going to be able to stack up to 100 here. The 100 armor is up, but Eiko can't make a play for it. He's only on 10 HP, but he's going to try a sneaky attack. No, he's decided against it. He wants his 1 frag lead still for a moment longer. Oh, the jump comes in. Oh, the rocket's
very
in good, though.
dangerous to actually use the rocket here. A nice combo.
That's a
Connect-
great read from Connect.
And yeah, he's able to eagle-eyes the score 1-1. Next armor is going to spawn in 3 seconds. Will he be able to knock Echo off the armor? Oh, nice rocket placement. Nice combo work. Wow, both players are so low.
Whoever gets the next shot will win the fight. But who's going to land it?
Wow.
Oh my god.
The winner was actually about to get the shield belt, so Eiko, surviving with only 29 HP, was able to get it.
I think he was clipped by the combo as well for minimum damage there, and still managed to survive with 13 HP. Such a risky play, but could extend his lead quite a bit here as he denies the 100 as well. Connect has to be really careful where he treads. Aims for the high ground. Connect. I mean, Eiko gets a beat on him though, coming up behind him with the flat cannon. And that primary missing by a mile there. Not going to be happy with that. He had all the time in the world for an easy 100 damage there. Some good rocket play coming out from Connect, but he just needs to land one more. He's going to forfeit the belt.
Wow.
Because of this aggressive flak play.
Now Eiko in a really comfortable position to attack or even spam on the armor here. But nice combo placement despite having the shield belt. Eiko goes down and it's 2-2.
Ooh, I was going to say, why not chase? But then flat cannon. Probably a good thing that he didn't chase there.
Nice control by Kinnick's armor control that is.
We hit the 5-minute mark, 2-2.
5-minute warning.
Things are getting pretty tense. Shield belt coming up shortly.
Wrong weapon.
Connect's doing some great work with that pillar, but is he in time?
Very
He
nice. Shield belt is up and it's gonna go for Kinnick's. 3-2. Next armor's gonna spawn in 17 seconds, and that's exactly as much time as Kinnick has to apply some pressure on Eiko.
Eiko's just going in aggressive here, trying to find an angle onto Connect, forces him back to the 2 health packs. He's going to make his way up to the top sniper, pick up some vials. He's got his eyes and the 100. Oh, he misses the first primary, would have knocked.
But he was able to actually hit 2 primaries after Eiko picked up the armor, which puts Kinnick in still a very, very good position right now.
Charging up with some tri-rockets.
Shield's gonna spawn in 2 seconds. Both players probably have decent timing here, and Eiko knew exactly where Kinnick was coming from. That's a really, really nice prediction.
Those rockets were superb. Charging up just at the right moment, knowing that his opponent was going to do some sneaky wall dodge for the combo, and just nails it.
That really was probably one of the best reads I've seen in the whole series of games we've witnessed so far.
Caught in a dodgy position there by the window, but actually manages to get out on top of the situation with some good things.
Oh, very, very nice prediction there as well. Nice read on Eiko. Was immediately going for the weapon.
Wow, nice.
Awesome flick shot by Kinnick, extending the lead. Wow.
Eiko does manage to land a sniper shot there onto the belt at the end. Playing a risky game though, not getting any of the belts, but he's landing so many sniper hits, and Connects cannot actually connect with anything. No pun intended, but
still he did it, my friend.
11 HP.
Next shield belt is not gonna spawn for the next 30 seconds, so that's plenty of time for Kinnick to build up more health and armor before he has to commit to a difficult situation. What a nice read. I could barely touch the elevator there, and the combo was already flying.
I think we can say that Connect has done a damn good job taking this map. It was a great pick from him. 1 minute 30, 4 frags.
Yeah, the last situation, both players were well aware when the shield was gonna spawn, so Aiko took the teleporter and felt that Kinix would stay those 5 seconds for the shield belt, but Kinix decided differently and went for the kill, and that's completely surprised Aiko, who's just grabbing that weapon out there. 1 minute to go. Nice combo there. But we both know that Aiko has to play aggressive now, so everything from now on can't really attribute it whether it's gonna be a smart or a stupid move. It's just that he has to and live with the consequences.
What was the next map pick after this one?
Next map pick is DMA SDF, which is Aiko's map pick. So now both players won their respective own map picks.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Did look shaky there for a while for Connect, but he managed to extend his lead quite nicely.
Yeah,
and just get quite comfortable and make Aiko go into all the positions that he was made to be in when he was playing on solo, essentially. Always having that advantage.
Yeah. So solo was really close, and this one was, well, as soon as Kinix had his run, so to speak, then it was quite convincingly. So I'm really gonna be curious how the next maps are going to play out. And it shows that the level of some of those players are really, really top-notch, and if Kinix and Aiko both make it to the playoffs, then we have with Snatch and Dylan and those two guys an amazing lineup of 4 players. It's really, really crazy. Dylan did really close against Snatch, and it seems that Kinix against Aiko is also going to be a really close one. So, looking forward to the third map, DMA SDF, Aiko's map pick.
Aiko's just calling the 1 minute timeout, probably having a quick pick. Get refocused with a fresh, unloaded bladder.
Yeah, it can be detrimental to your focus, that's for sure.
Apparently it improves focus.
Does it?
Yeah, if you need to pee, you tend to focus on what you're doing more to get your mind off of needing to pee. And so this urgency of like, I need to do this as best as I possibly can so then I can pee, sort of attitude happens. There's some research in it somewhere.
I'm curious about that one, yeah. Maybe it depends what kind of activity you're doing.
True, lots of jumping up and down, probably not so good, but...
Yeah, some 100-meter dash, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, true. That actually, yeah, I didn't think of that, but
yeah,
it might go faster. But you might have more weight.
Exactly. Yes. Okay, map number 3. Aiko's map pick. Both are taunting each other here, and I'm gonna focus on Aiko here as it's his map pick.
Connects it to the link gun spawn. Finds himself the sniper and the vials up top, so he got that health lead, which is always nice to have in the first 30 seconds before that first spawn. Aiko playing the low ground, trying to find an angle to combo up to, and Connect's just playing it sneaky.
But now Aiko only has one, I was about to say, combo left in him.
Ooh, I like that jump from Aiko, but didn't quite land.
Very nice try to be sneaky. That might have been a misjump by Aiko here. And Kinix is leading 1-0.
I love that rocket sniper combination there from Connect. Bangs his opponent up, but
nice
very
prediction.
flexible. And Aiko's looking for the sniper shot now. Nice slide from Connect. Manages to avoid the first one, but gets hit by the second. He wants to fight for this belt. And lovely combo. It's 14 HP there for Aiko. Or 15, sorry. And now Connect has a 2-frag lead on Aiko's Mac pick.
Well, Aiko now trying to maintain the high ground here. Take off as much shield belt from Kinect as possible without receiving too much damage himself. Trying to predict Kinex's movements here. It's a very, very ballsy move to get so close to any player who's holding that top position.
Kinect is just giving a masterclass on ASDF right now. Oh! Aiko's just stood still. Something's wrong.
Oh, he's Aiko saying he's actually sick and it's hard to play for him. Well, definitely a good information to have that could explain certain things why Aiko's maybe not as focused as he could be. But then again, obviously, players try to pick their play days or play dates with the other players, and this was Aiko's play day, so to speak, because he's playing all his remaining matches.
Indeed.
So not much we can do about that. Would be the same in any other offline competition as well, where the tournament is taking place on a weekend or something. So gotta play as best as he can in the current shape he's in. Oh, very, very nice. Almost 2 direct hits.
That was.
And now Aiko might be doing a little mistake here by going to the health packs, because the shield is coming up soon, and Kinix has or had only 10 HP himself.
He couldn't risk it. Kinect didn't want to waste a frag here, and he could have gotten for a sneaky steal, but he was only 10 HP. He was waiting for the health pack, didn't spawn, and now we're going to see a very aggressive Aiko play. Unfortunately, missing the wall dodge, but might have been a saviour for him, not running into that flash until then. He just hits the wall, and now Kinect is going to take this opportunity to take that next 100.
Aiko,
and maybe another frag.
Aiko actually had a pretty big fuck up, I would say. He switched his weapon just when Kinix was trying to get the 50, and he could immediately have done at least 60 or more damage with the sniper rifle or the or a nicely placed combo, and maybe even get a kill on Kinix here. Nice evasion movements by Kinix, who was or is down to 40 HP.
Wow, that's some risky play from Aiko. Kinect poking his head out like that.
Aiko missing an important shot here.
Ooh, great rocket. That saved him from taking that combo full whack there. Kinect having some great rocket play today.
Yet again.
Another. Aiko still on the hunt, still wants this frag so badly. He knows where his opponent is. Good sniper shot though from Kinect. Dashes other side of the map now, going for the 100. Oh, I think he might. Oh no, he's typing again. Please tell me he's not typing.
Warning.
I suspected it as well, but it seems like he was. Well, maybe he did type and deleted it again. I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows?
He had an opportunity for a brilliant combo on that lift, and you know, this is going to be a map for Kinect right now. I don't think Aiko's in a position in his mind to pull this back. And again, he's standing still.
I mean, you could argue that he's probably listening to where the opponent is going, but
I think Git's nailed it. He's just blowing his nose or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Not out of his face.
Maybe even vomiting right now. Who knows?
If he's vomiting, he's committed.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool then. Yeah. Oh, very, very strong combo, yeah. It seems like Echo's woken up again.
Maybe that's what he needed to do. Clear his nose, get the sinuses fresh, and then drink a bit of tea. And then
another really, really nice combo. Another really nicely aimed primary. Now he's on fire and he has map control. Look at that. Who would have thought? I was not spawning in 15 seconds, so
I need to
Echo's
blow
all
my
the
nose
time.
more often.
Yeah.
Oh, great movement there from Echo, cutting across the map with the jump pad. Surprises his opponent, but luckily Connect is able to land the grenade launcher to the face, pushing him away. But that combo is going to clip. This next one possibly too, and trying to get a read on his opponent so he can land a shot.
Did some nice grenade launcher work though. Really can't complain about that. Oh, again, really, really nice grenade work here by Kinix. That's surely not gonna help Ego's mindset right now, his motivation.
He wants to probably get the impact hammer out. He's going to wait at belt, but he decides to evacuate the situation and does so without the use of the secondary hammer. Great. 4. Lands a sniper. Can he land another? He does.
Oh, Kinix should have lit up the combo.
He should have. I knew he was going to get picked on that corner there. It was a great move from Connect, jumping down from Vials by the minigun and getting the angle onto the health packs there.
Yeah, there was actually a really strong positional play there. And now Kinix forfeiting to make this one frag on Echo, who just respawned in that corner.
Oh, he's saying I'm going to drop.
What does that mean?
I don't know. That doesn't sound good though.
I'm not in a state to play, GG's. So he's going to drop out of the tournament? Is that what he's saying?
Who goes through? What happens?
If he's dropping out of the tournament, then Repeat and Kinix will make it in Group B. Is that possible? It is.
Yeah, that's the only option.
Or is it not? I think it is, because Echo won one game against Sulaco because Sulaco dropped out. So Echo right now is 1 win and 2 losses. If he actually drops out now of the group stage, or like if he forfeits his games, right? Then Repeat. However, he lost to Sulaco, but Sulaco won't make it. And Repeat then won against Echo, if that is the case. And that means that Repeat and Kinix actually will make it to the playoffs. That's completely nuts. Who would have thought? Repeat has another chance to prove himself in the tournament. The German who already was completely out on his first play day of the group.
I think it was all in Repeat's master plan.
30 seconds left.
He might have sent some bacteria or virae towards France.
Yeah, probably. Sent some anthrax or something in the mail. Yeah, Echo, man, that was
wow.
I didn't expect that today.
Me neither. I mean, 10, okay, like 9, 8, he might have 7, not been at his best 6, shape, but he still 4, played really 3, decent from what we've seen 1. So far, like when he tried.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that today is not a good day for him to play. If he's generally really quite ill, and it sounds like he is, like, just finish off as quickly as you can. Yeah, you may finish second in the group, but you'll qualify, and then another day you'll be able to play at your finest. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, just get this game out of the way, and you're done. And yeah, I think he was just, I think it doesn't help. There's no real big incentives in UT to help him carry on. Because if there was some big prize at the end of the day, then he would still be playing until the very end.
I agree on that one, but obviously people are still really dedicated to the game and improving and playing. And if you usually sign up for a cup, you don't do it because you think you would be open to dropping out, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So getting.
Let's be honest. Connects played really, really well.
He did.
So
yeah.
far. Like a very,
Certainly.
very improved player. I know Eiko's not at his best right now, and he is ill, but still, that is some impressive play, outsmarting Eiko in many situations and having far superior aim in some of those situations too, and just coming out on top. I just don't take away any credit from Connects. I think he did a really great job and some great thinking in terms of his map choices as well.
Sempiternal was a pretty amazing show by Kinix, and also in general, Kinix seemed like a different person to how it looked like, let's say, 2 weeks ago when he played the qualification cup and barely made it.
I hope Eiko gets well soon and that we can actually see him play again in the future.
Yeah, people are just figuring out on Discord what's going to happen to Eiko and the groups. He is giving us a heads up and says that he got an ear inflammation, which he caught by swimming, and the headset is probably the sound or something, I don't know, is killing him. He can't play anymore, and he would be out of the cup, and now Wasteful is negotiating with him whether Eiko actually wants to be out of the cup or if he can reschedule his last game. And okay, well now Eiko says if everybody agrees about it, then he could postpone his match against Repeat, I suppose. Okay, well, he said after 5 minutes he had to release his headset. I mean, obviously we're not at Eiko's computer. We cannot verify, nor can we falsify the claims about him being sick and everything. So right now, what's this English term? The doubt of the benefit or something? The benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So let's just assume that Eiko actually really is sick. I have no problem about a reschedule of the last match in order for Eiko to get better and be actually able to play. Just waiting for Repeat to confirm that. I guess both points are, like super valid. If Repeat would say, well, I only can play today and I don't have time the other days, then who can blame Repeat to say he insists on the forfeit of today? Because it was scheduled for today. That's just how tournaments go. But in case he agrees, then we would say one more match of the group stage.
Yeah, I mean, Repeat's pretty flexible guy, and I think he just appreciates playing against good players at the end of the day. So I'd expect that he would just.
But what I heard is that he might have some time restrictions.
Oh, okay. That's true.
Not in regards of this day or something, but I was talking to him like a week ago, like, how you doing, dude? And he was saying, he doesn't have as much time right now. He's in a transitioning phase and stuff like that. So that's my biggest fear, that he won't have the time or time slots to, have the infinite possibilities to change.
Yeah, Repeat's kind of like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off kind of guy. I don't know what his work actually entails, but it seems that he has to disappear in that time when he is working, and it's probably pretty full on. So, yeah, I mean, it all depends on how they want to negotiate this. I mean, to be honest, I think Eiko probably generally is quite ill and probably was going through quite a bit of pain with his ear then. I mean, you've got to have your sound up loud in UT. And
I agree. I totally agree.
He's not kind of the player that, he's not a player that like doesn't mind losing. He'll be happy to take a loss for any reason. That's always the impression that I've got from him. It's just, otherwise, why would he forfeit? I guess, but yeah,
still very, very tough one. Specifically, if you are 1-1 in maps and lose the opponent's. Actually, it was his map choice, but nevertheless, it was 1-1 in maps, and he still had a chance to end this game. Just talking on Discord with him. So what's the final call here? Do you know already? Can you postpone the last match versus repeat? And as much as I would like to see also, like repeat play more, I think at the end of the day, I would rather like to see the better player or the better players in the playoffs. To be fair, and if that's repeat, if he wins against Aiko, then that's fine for me, But I really don't like forfeits, and I don't like dropping out of cups because it kind of screws up with the natural selection. Let's call it like that.
Yeah, that's very true. It does suck.
Okay, I'm just gonna repeat. If you hear this, in case you're watching the stream, it would be nice if you could. He's actually typing right now.
I'm gonna be right back quickly.
Sure. Just updating this text for you guys here. So Sulaku is out of the cup. Then Kinix 1. Well, basically that means 3-1 versus Aiko. Maps 3 and 4 were for fates. What a crazy day! And then let's wait for the last. How do I do this? Let's wait for the last information here from repeat. If we can reschedule or not. I'm gonna answer some questions from the chat in the meantime. Let's see. Marvin says, repeat be like lose all games and still winning. Well, he didn't lose all games. He had quite tight games, if I recall correctly. But it is a damn crazy play day. I agree.
Indeed. I've lost all my bets now.
Oh man.
I owe a lot of money.
Well, hope you can still pay the rent for this month, dude.
No, I can't. I put it all on Aiko.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, it's the no-brainer move here actually. Who would have thought?
I have to go break his legs now.
Yep.
He owes me money. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, it was actually a funny remark. You should maybe get a. Where was it? Hold on. Where was it? Ah, yeah. Make him post a doctor's note. Zachabus. Then you might have a chance to get your money back from the bookmakers. It's like natural, like higher. What's it called? Damn. Higher calling. Größere Gewalt. Or höhere Gewalt in German. Means stuff you can't influence. Nevertheless, I'm gonna keep on reading. People start talking about UT4 and Quake. No news here. Okay, well, I'm checking Discord, guys. Okay, well, seems like we have a final decision here, Zachabus.
Hit me with the final decision.
Yeah, the final decision is so repeat. Actually, repeat says generally, however, it feels quite unfair. He has no problem with rescheduling because it
Okay.
you know like the rules say if you drop, you drop. Basically, that's it. However, he is not at home next weekend. That's kind of what I was suspecting earlier. So if they want to reschedule, it had to be the week after the upcoming weekend. Because Aiko can't play during the work days. And then Aiko says, well, no problem, then I drop, and then repeat, like, makes sure that this is the final decision because he feels bad to advance without winning a game. his words. And then Aiko says yes.
Right, okay.
So we have a Group B winner, which is Kinex, and the runner-up of Group B is Repeat. That's the 1 in a million chance. No one would, would have bet on.
No, I mean, providing that he goes into the next games a little bit less aggressive, I think he's actually got a chance as well. He wasn't playing bad. He was just playing a bit like a headless chicken last time. So
yeah, I agree.
I think providing that he controls that aggressive play, because he would come out on top in situations, but then just leave his opponent on 2 HP. Instead of backing off and getting health, he would then just push the equation and then lose the fight. That happens when the opponent has that defensive advantage on the plus back. But it's really unfortunate that he kept playing into that style, but he wanted to play aggressive. And, if he changes that up, I actually think he's got a chance. But this is really now Dylan's cup to win moving on. Like, Dylan right now is just unstoppable.
However, Snatch's games against Dylan were really close, and it means that I'm probably typing all the names completely wrong except Snatch's here. Repeat GG. So if you actually have a look at the playoff participants, now it's going to be Dylan on spot 1 and Snatch on spot B. 2, and then in Group B it's going to be Kinex and Repeat. So that means Dylan will face Repeat, and it's going to be really, really hard for Repeat. And Kinex will face Snatch, and that's going to be a really interesting game. Because I couldn't tell who's having the edge here. It's really tough.
Indeed.
And like I said, Dylan kind of seems unstoppable. That's why I would give the advantage to Dylan against Repeat here, just because it's Dylan. Could be any other opponent there, but Kinex and Snatch gonna be tough. And Repeat, dude. I mean, if he, like you said, stops going in too hard,
yeah,
then actually I'm gonna change it just for Repeat. Here you go, dude.
He's doing the repeat thing to me. I get so confused with player names sometimes.
Yeah,
got to do it with the capital P.
Yep.
Don't make him mad.
No.
I won't like him when he's angry. Well, he'll just lose games if he's angry.
Yeah, true.
By running in too aggressively.
So yeah, big chance for Repeat anyway to surprise everyone. If he manages to take even one map away from Dylan would be a tremendous accomplishment for any player at this point of the game. But yeah, cool. I think we covered all the questions basically from the chat here. We've seen all the games of today which were to be played. There's not going to be a reschedule for Repeat and Aiko. We have our playoff participants. We do not have yet a date for the playoffs. I think Wasteful will talk to all the participants now that they're fixed, and we will keep you posted on Twitter of ESL Unreal, Zekubus's Twitter. I'm assuming, then my Twitter.
All the Twitters.
Yeah, probably also Unreal Tournament when the playoffs and when the finals are going to take place. I assume it's going to happen in the next 1 to 2 weeks. But that's just a gut feeling, because why would you make it in July. Doesn't make sense to me. So look forward to those matchups. Thank you so much, Zachbus, for co-casting, for co-hosting here tonight.
No problem. Thanks for having me, dude.
I think we had, we made the best out of the dropout of Sulaco. We had quite a nice and interesting talk, I think, for everyone. It was certainly entertaining and interesting for me, and we had some nice feedback in the chat here, and also the scenes we saw in the game, I think, were quite entertaining and made me want to watch more Unreal Tournament in the future.
All right,
dude. I'm going to make a small break for everyone. I'll be back around 19:30, and I will start, guys. Now, this is something unique for me. Has nothing to do with UT anymore, and I'm one of the few lucky people who did get a pre-release key, like a press kind of a key for the Surge. It's a kind of Resident Evil in space, or let's call it Dead Space kind of, or Dark Souls kind of game. It's developed by it's published by Koch Media, Deep Silver, I think. I'm not sure. Well, definitely Koch Media, and it's from Deck 13. Or is it Deck 7? No, it's Deck 13, isn't it? Let me actually check.
I have no idea.
Let me check it out. Everyone else on the whole planet would probably not have that problem mixing up the numbers. But
that's because you're a UT player.
Exactly.
And deck.
That's the thing.
Deck 16, Deck 8. Like, how many decks are there? There's like several.
There are a lot.
Wait, Deck 17 as well? That was one? That was UT4, wasn't it? 2K4, sorry.
And it's Deck 13. Okay, so Deck 13 developed the game The Surge. Again, it's going to be very unique and first time for me. So I will be starting a very, very fresh game. You can get the game officially next Tuesday on Steam. I'm going to play and stream it from the beginning, and you guys can participate when a competitive player actually starts getting into a single player game. I'm going to play the whole evening, and I'm going to continue tomorrow evening. And I might even finish it. Maybe I'm going to do a 24-hour session. Who knows? I definitely like the game.
Hardcore.
It's cool, yeah. So thank you for tuning into the Unreal Tournament ESL, the Duel Spring League 2017. Many, many words in that title. Hope to see you in the playoffs. Thanks for tuning in. Whoever wants to stay is welcome, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks, Zachbus. I'm out.
Later.
Alright guys, I will be restarting my stream now. Going to start the stream fresh with a fresh tweet and a fresh Twitch game, how do you call it, and topic. So see you in a bit. I want to start at 19:30, so don't run.